Hi guys, I'm ChezPride and welcome back to once again another life simulation themed news video where once again we are touching on both the games Paralives and The Sims 4 when it comes to news. And honestly, these are the games that are about to be taking up the majority of the videos on my channel in the upcoming months. So news videos where I am talking about multiple games at once is probably going to be a bit more normal than it has been in the past, where I've mainly just been talking about different Sims games news. But I am trying to expand a little bit past EA without going too far away from what I like. And honestly, I feel like Paralives, as far as life simulation games, seems pretty perfect for that. And more so, I love the support being shown from the Sims team to Paralives because one, the Sims team is such a bigger franchise and they don't have to shout out just like a little indie game, especially one that is so similar to them. They could have took that way out of pocket, but they're actually being really supportive and really cool of it, which I think is points for The Sims for sure. Now, the Sims team didn't make a whole huge post or anything like that, but they did acknowledge them on Twitter. So basically, when Paralives launched, they put their launch trailer on Twitter and was like, hey, early access, 10% off, woohoo! And then the Sims team responded with this picture saying, Life Sims fans are eating good. Gazuzos on launch. So that means, I believe, congratulations. With that, they responded, the more the merrier to you, which I'm pretty sure is thank you and whatnot, with this picture. So it's a similar picture, but obviously made in Paralives, which I just think is so cute. It could have been such this whole competitive thing, and instead they're just trying to bond together. I really think that shows the type of people the Sims team are. I know I hate on EA a lot, but I'm not a huge hater on the Sims team. There are some things the Sims team does that slightly irks me, but I think even now they're actually trying to take a page out of Paralives books, and normally that could be taken as a competitive thing or not, but actually I think it's just them working and bonding together. So basically, what I'm about to talk about is one, not something I'm actually too happy about, but the way they're doing it and the way they're doing it in the style Paralives is doing their early access, I actually can appreciate. But I'm on edge about this Sims news we're going to talk about. So basically, today the Sims dropped a new gallery search tool called the SimSearch, and I have mixed feelings on this. The main thing is AI, and I am weird with AI. I'm not a total AI is gonna burn the world down, but I don't support AI. I more so don't support AI when it takes people's jobs away, when it takes humans' abilities to work on something away. I know it's supposed to be the quote easier way to go, but it's going to make people not be able to work in their fields, especially when it comes to artists and the medical field and data testers. There's so many things that AI is trying to take over, and it's only going to get worse if the potential buyout fully happens. But this is how they are slowly starting to introduce AI into The Sims 4. And it's not to say that not all AI is not bad, but basically this isn't the worst AI they could be doing, because I feel like it's not taking away a person's job. It is a search engine in the game that's supposed to help players easily, but it also doesn't take away your information. So those are the two things that I don't like about AI. So it's it's on the edge of whether I think it's that cool or not. I don't know if cool is the correct word, but I feel like it could be a cool tool to use, but at the same time it's just do we really want to start bringing AI into The Sims 4 and just have it end up being a whole AI experience in the future where there's barely any humans involved? Like, we have enough glitchiness and non-testing happening without AI. I don't know. I'll stop talking about AI now. I know it's a controversial thing, but yeah, they're starting to introduce it into the Sims game. They've already been using it in development, like with researching and whatnot, and they've been talking about doing artwork with AI, but now they're putting AI straight into the game, and we kind of got a hint about this in the past. It wasn't a full reveal, but they kind of revealed that eventually you would be able to search things by pictures, but they didn't explain exactly how it worked, and now that is a part of what was released today. So today they released the SimSearch on the gallery. So this article that we are going to be reading today is straight off the EA website on the Sims 4 news and update category, and it is called A New Way to Search the Gallery Using SimSearch. It came out May 26, 2026, and it says, Social Simmers, today when you head into the gallery, you may notice a new search functionality, SimSearch. It introduces two new features, cross-language and image search, designed to improve how you search and discover content. These new features are currently in beta, so we are still fine-tuning the experience, but starting today, they are available for Simmers who want to try them out. Sound familiar? Basically what they're doing with Paralives. I can appreciate them actually saying, hey, this isn't completely going to work, instead of them giving us something and being like, hey, look at this new feature, and it like being half broken and everyone getting upset about it. Like, I feel like they finally understand that maybe things need to be tested, and if they can't test it themselves, maybe a beta testing is actually a good thing. It's just but with that also being said, the features are, I can see, useful, especially the cross-language one. I actually feel like that's not a bad thing to have. So basically, the cross-language is the first one, and the text-to-image is the second one. And the cross-language, in short, is basically you can look up like a hashtag or a name in any language, and it will translate it to all the different languages in the game, which I believe there's like 18 different languages in the game, if I remember correctly. But it says, this search opinion combines and spans the item name and hashtag searches by also interrogating description text for any matches, as well as looking through different text fields. The search will look at other supported languages and return results where the creator may not speak to your set language. This means if you were to search for Big Red House, you could also see it result in Spanish as Grand Case Bajad, or in French as Grande Mansion Rogue, and in German as, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. All without needing to know additional languages yourself. This allows us to surface more of the creativity on the gallery, which may have been hidden to you in previous searches. Results will also be opinionated by results of acting as things you may also like, which will open up discoverabilities for Simmers to upload that may be interest to you, but that didn't specifically search for, which honestly could be annoying if you're looking for something very, very specific. But if you're not looking for something very specific, that last part could be kind of cool. But honestly, I think the language one is actually really cool. I think the more options you can find on the gallery, the better. I don't really care if they aren't in English. Like, if I know what kind of lot they are, I know what the function is for. Like, if it's a bar, is under the bar category, obviously it's going to be a bar. And even if I can't read what the title is, I can kind of look at it and be like, do I like this style? And I have more access. So I can see where that is actually pretty decent. But this next one that gets me is the text to image. So the text to image basically is right now only for lots and rooms. So you can't search it in households, which makes sense because it is actual Sims and not actual lots where things like items are. Like, you could, for Sim, I guess, search like strawberry and like a strawberry dress come up. But most things you're going to search isn't going to come up on a Sim. So it makes sense that they're starting this out on rooms and lots only. But basically, they're making it to where you can type in a word, any word that is appropriate in the gallery, and then you can find lots and rooms by what's in the thumbnail. So basically, the example they're giving is if you search fireplace, you would get results of something that had either a fireplace or a campfire in the gallery image, which is insane. That is complete AI, and it kind of scares me, honestly. Like, I'm not gonna lie, AI and like robots and all that has always been a scary thought to me since I was like a kid. So that slightly freaks me out, but I can see how it could be useful. It's just, I don't know if I think it's necessary. I feel like if you would just go to a room and search fireplace, you would probably find a room where people have uploaded different fireplaces. Why is it necessary to search in the image? Like, I'm still gonna go into the game and like actually just like show you how it works so you can kind of understand. But I'm very much on the fence on if I think it's a necessary tool or I think it's even worth using AI for. It does show the little drop down menu that has all the different choices now, so you can see it, and it says right next to it, these are beta, so you can go ahead and let them know and get back to them on your thoughts. So it says the options are currently in beta as we're testing functionally. As such, there may be results in searches that do not meet your expectation or desired results, and what we would love to hear to you about and improve results. While we're in beta, the new search options will be available in the Sims 4 game client while we gather your feedback and hear about your experiences. Eventually, we'll look to add the search option from the web gallery for a seamless search experience. So eventually, they're going to expand this to the web, but not just in-game. And then the searches are in addition to existing in name item, hashtag, and EA account searches that you'll currently see in the gallery. So basically here they're warning us some areas that they'll be working on in beta. So things that they're looking to improve is sort by section in the gallery does not work against the two new search options. This is due to how we're running our queries in order to get the results in. This does have added benefit of potentially exposing results and new creators and uploads you may have never seen before. And then the text to image search currently uses an OR operator, so you will get better results from single word searches. We are looking to expand on this and the operator in the future. This means at launch, if you were to search cozy fireplace, you would get representation of cozy and representation of fireplace. But in the future, cozy fireplace could be combined in a search to get more precise and custom results, which is honestly just already kind of how the gallery works anyway. If you put in multiple words in the gallery, it gets really confused. So it doesn't surprise me that that's a problem. I'm hoping that they'll go and touch that up on all of the gallery searches, but that is just kind of what they're saying. Hey, this doesn't exactly work, but we're testing it and we want your feedback. And you can head to the EA forums or Discord to share your feedback as you discover and test out the Sim search. So with that being said, let's go ahead and quickly jump into our game and jump into the gallery and see what I think about them when it comes to putting AI in the game, because I am honestly a little nervous. So when you come into the gallery, if you want to use these new features, you have to go to where it says item name and then click on it and you get the drop down. Now I did notice that you have to be in the full gallery to use this. It's actually not accessible through your own library, which I think is weird. I feel like it would be useful in your own library because you know what you're looking for. You're like, oh, I made that one house with with a fountain. Why don't I look for a fountain and then I find my own bill? I don't know. Maybe it's because it has to be connected to the internet. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure why, but it is only accessible on your gallery. And like we said before, it is only for lots and rooms. So I also find it interesting that when you do the text to image that is only available for rooms and lots, that it doesn't automatically make the options where it's only rooms and lots. It actually still includes households and tattoos. So I actually want to try this text to image first. So let's go ahead and perhaps do a text to image of a heart. I honestly want to try a heart bed, but maybe I will put in heart first and then see if we can get a heart bed, because it said one words work better. Also, we could try heart bed as one word. Let's try it out. So if I just put heart, let's just see what happens. Oh, it didn't take too long. I'm getting a bunch of heart-shaped builds. I was kind of hoping for a heart-shaped bed. Maybe if I make it more detailed into being rooms. Oh, actually nothing was found for rooms. It did say it may not be as specific as you want it. Okay, so what happens if I search heart bed? Because when I searched rooms, nothing came up for heart. I'm seeing mainly just still heart-shaped houses and heart-shaped pools. There's a bed, but it wasn't a heart-shaped bed. Yeah, so it's definitely not working as detailed as you would think. And obviously, if we make it 2 words, it's probably just going to confuse the freak out of it. Oh, well, that's kind of a heart-shaped bed. It's a bed with a heart, but I don't know. It's only giving me like heart-shaped houses. So I definitely think that when it said that it wasn't going to be a super detailed search yet, it meant it. And maybe we can try one more thing. What if let's try something like really weird, like angel. Like what happens if you put an angel in here? Does anything come up? Oh, actually some stuff comes up. It's mainly just enlarged statues, but yeah, we have that. I'm just curious. Yeah, I don't think the room category works yet. It says it's for rooms and lots, but so far it's only lots that are really working. I'm not really getting room searches, and obviously tattoos and households aren't coming up because it's not functional for that. Okay, but also let's go ahead and do cross-language beta. So let's see, I have to think, what about if we do the German word for cat and see what comes up? Because I'm curious if this applies to households. I feel like that would be appropriate for a search for a household. In German, it is Kattes. So what if we put in a German word? And yep, so we have a bunch of gallery cats with that, but does it show any cats that aren't a part of it already being called that in the title? And so far I'm not seeing, well, there's cats, like the person. That's not really what I was hoping for. I was hoping that we would get an option where it was just like cat in the title. Oh, here we go. We have just a regular cat in normal human English language. Not that, German isn't a human language, but we also have something with Kate. I guess it's close to Casti. Okay, so we're getting a little bit way. So we have a lot of cats as a person named Cat. I kind of appreciate that. We have a couple of households that are just labeled cat as CAT, but not that many. It was mainly still either just cats, like a person, or the actual German phrase, which does make sense, but I was hoping for more ones that have cat in them. And I know if I search up cat in the English language, that's not gonna work. What if we try dog in Spanish? So a dog, and I don't know Spanish as well, so I'm having to look it up. Oh god, I feel stupid. Okay, dog in Spanish is perro, and para for female. Let's look at para, because girl power. And we have Perry and Para's girls. There's a few different dogs under para, but not as many as the German word for cat. I'm mainly getting households that have to do with the name para. Okay, like I said, it's not supposed to be super accurate of a detail yet, but I think the German word for cat was definitely more of a successful search when I'm searching for animals and not humans, but I can see why it would choose the Sims with these names, I guess. I don't know. I just think it's weird. I just still think this is so weird and so unnecessary. I can understand the cross language. Honestly, I get that one. But the text to image I just don't think it's like worth it to use AI in the game. I don't think these are really necessary features. I feel like the cross language should have been something they just installed in the background to where it's just automatic for all searches. I think that would actually be really cool instead of it being just a separate feature. But the text to image, I'm just like, it's not worth it. At least not yet. I just don't think it's worth it. So I wouldn't waste my time on it. I would just search items the regular way, but that's just me. But that's pretty much all the Sims news we have for today. Now let's jump into the news and the stuff I want to talk about when it comes to Paralives. So Paralives officially released in early access 2 days ago from when I'm recording this, and I know that over the last week, pretty much all my videos have had something to do with Paralives. Like, they haven't been fully Paralive based, but they have had Paralives news mixed in. And I do apologize that I'm being a little obsessive with the Paralives news videos, but I'm just so excited for Paralives. I've been following this game for years and I can't have it in my hands until this weekend. So I'm just like, I have to find other ways to talk about it. And I figured I might as well show things off and talk about things that I can show off about the game without fully going into the game and showing you in game, requiring having the game. So today, when it comes to Paralives talk, we have a wide range of things we're going to talk about, but the gist of it is I want to talk about what exactly to expect in early access. We've gone over a list of what exactly is coming in early access in like specific details and what is going to come in the future. But I kind of want to show like a roadmap and where we're going to be starting out and what we should be expecting as the starting point in general, including all the different bugs they are aware of, or at least some of the bugs they know they're aware of, at least showing off the concept that they are aware of the bugs and they are giving us a way to report the bugs. So we're going to learn how we can report the bugs. And also I want to talk about the ways that they are, at least with this being an early access game, making the game easier, or at least be able to be turned easier, including different mods and cheats and what have you. So with that being said, let's go ahead and I want to jump into this little comic strip basically that Paralives posted over on their Instagram about a week ago. So Paralives game is the official Paralives account, and we have this little strip here and it says, but what is early access? And this is literally just a strip kind of just telling you what to expect and what not to expect at launch and from what you're getting. Now obviously we have had the patch update since the first day of launch that I talked about in my last video, so it's this plus what was talked about in the patch. Now we've gone over some of this, but it does lead to a post that I want to talk about, like the point does. So it says, it's when developers release a game before it is completely ready to receive feedback from the players while it's still being shaped. You will be able to manage your paras, needs, wants, life goals, and careers, but these things are still being improved. You might encounter bugs and crashes. So they're very like on the point. They're like, you're going to discover bugs. It's just gonna happen. So, they will slowly be releasing bug fixes, and I will be making videos about the bug fixes along the way. But it says you can make friends, find love, or be mean. Social life basics are there, but still lacking things like organization, social events, and calling other pairs, which is a little sad that in the base game you can't call other pairs, because that means you literally have to like hunt them down. But this is fine. It's going to be added eventually. And I really feel like this post puts in perspective just how early access in the game. I mean, we have at least 2 to 3 years before the game comes out in full access. So there's going to be a lot added. But I feel like this is showing people exactly exactly what to expect because I feel like people are having slightly higher expectations than you would think because we have to remember it is an early access. So it says, for now, when a para is born, gets married, or dies, there isn't much of a highlight for these moments, which I find it interesting that when they're born, there isn't much of a highlight. I can kind of understand when the marriage, but the dying and the born, I feel like should be more of a big deal. But it says, we designed a cozy town for you to discover. It is still lacking activities outside of some of the shops, and collectibles fine. So basically, I think there's 5 shops, including a restaurant right now, and there's collectibles, and then there's like some free events, like you have like the yoga class and whatnot, but that's about it. But the town is really cute. I'm looking forward to jumping into it. It says, the Paramaker will let you fully customize and dress your characters, but some hairstyles and clothings are still missing. So they pretty much have like most of the Paramaker stuff actually accessible, like all the features, but they want to add more items such as hair and clothing and whatnot, which I think is great. They need to add more, but they already have a lot starting out for a base game for sure. And then it says, a good selection of furniture and objects is waiting for you in build mode, a wider variety coming out in future updates. So obviously they're going to be adding more furniture in the future. And then we said build mode is pretty flexible, but some important features are still to come, like pools, basements, and more flexible stairs and roof tools, which are all things that we got later on in The Sims, so that kind of matches. And then it says, at launch, modders will be able to add all kinds of custom content to the game that players can easily find and install using the Steam Workshop. So they do have a whole way for you to make mods and have mods work in this game, and we're going to get more into that in a minute. And then it says, over the 6 years of development, I thought it was 7 years. Okay, 6 years of development, some features have been teased and have been put aside that won't be ready for launch. We prefer to let you know, which I appreciate. So it says, within the next 2 years of early access, we plan to add content to every part of the game as well as new features such as cars, pets, and deeper parenting gameplay. So this is all the way up to 2028. It could be sometime between now and then. And then it says, don't expect hundreds of hours of gameplay just yet. We aim to get there by adding more content and depth based on feedback we get from you. So it's saying that the gameplay is going to be very basic, which is pretty much the conclusion I'm getting from all the different people I've been watching play, like English Simmer and James Turner and Little Simsy and Shella and all of them. Like, they're kind of saying like build mode, really good, definitely could have more to it, but really good and really cool and really functional. Then Paramaker, fantastic, like off the charts, amazing. But then the gameplay is just kind of like, yeah, it's there, it's basic, you can live a life, but it's not like exciting and quirky and really have a lot to do yet. And they're just going ahead and claiming that now. So I really appreciate that they're owning up to that. And it says, as a small team of passionate life simulations fans, we have pledged that all features and updates will be free. So at least when they do add these features before the full game launches for full price, they will all be free, and then any future expansion content after it fully launches will be free as well, which just makes it better than The Sims to me, which I thought I would never say a game that wasn't The Sims was better than The Sims. So this is impressive. It says, we are so grateful and excited to embark on this next chapter of Paralives and improve on the game together based on your feedback. So it's very important that people are giving their feedback and, you know, reporting what isn't working and what is working and what they like and what they don't like. So it says that it was going to be released on May 25th, which is obviously past now for us because this was posted a week ago. That is kind of what they're kind of showing, like, hey, this is kind of the level you should expect. It is very much going to be in early access. It will be improved, but it's going to be in early access. And they have kind of given us a slight roadmap. They've said in the early months here, we can expect performance optimization, bug fixes, tweaks to existing features, and quality of life improvements. But then in later, like within the next 2 years, we can expect major updates, especially in Q4 2026. So into this year, which is pretty exciting. And some more major updates like weather, pool, pets, and more. I think that's including like weddings and parties, such like that. And then we also have a post on their Instagram where they're literally just like being like, hey, these are exactly the bugs you can definitely expect. There's going to be more bugs we want you to report, but these are definite bugs that you can expect and we are aware of and we are working on. So it says known issue performance, and the fact that they are just going and warning people, I can honestly really appreciate. So it says crashes and freezes. Obviously that's the main one that's going to happen. So it says the next patch should actually help reduce these. So they are working on it. It's going to come out in the next patch. They're not saying when that is, but they're probably going to be giving us patch updates pretty often, honestly. And then it says make sure your computer meets the minimum spec list on our Steam page. So if you are concerned that your computer won't run it, you can look at those specs. And then it says game booting up is long and can hang. Keep waiting. It will eventually load to the main menu to be improved soon. So saying the loading screen is long and they do apologize. Shutters in live mode. We will be working on more optimizations to reduce the lag spikes over the next few months. So stutters in live mode to where the game just basically freezes for a minute. And then we have issues with the fire. We are now fixing bugs around fire spreading and extinguishing as well as firefighters. And then critical needs preventing paras from doing the interactions to relieve them should be fixed soon. And then motion sickness in the paramaker, which I'm actually really happy about. It says the curtains will be added to reduce the motion sickness while adding para folks in the train. So basically when you first load into the game, if you go into Paramaker for the first time in a save file, you're on a train and it had like the trees going by in the background, which I thought was really cool, but I can't understand why it gives people motion sickness. I kind of wish you could open and close the curtains, but maybe that's too much to ask for. And then lastly, we have can't close some interface windows. A fix is coming for now. Reload the game or speed up time to fix it. So basically like some of the little pop-ups won't happen. And then save file not loading. We are investigating and working on a fix. So basically your save file may not load, so maybe don't get too attached to your save file yet, but hopefully they fix that soon. And it says thanks for your patience and the bug reports. It's truly appreciated. We're also working on more bug fixes and performance optimizations as we go. And I know this seems like, wow, why would they put a game out when it has this many like huge bugs? But you gotta remember, like, they need the money to work on the game so they can fix these things. They have been funded by Patreon and obviously the 15 members on the team, but it's not like a huge corporation. It doesn't belong to EA. It's an indie game, and now that they have sold so many copies, they'll be able to put more money into fixing the game and making it more functional before they fully release it. That is the whole part of early access. But you can report bugs. So today they put out this little video on how you can report a bug in-game, and then I will also show you the website you can go to. So
if you encountered a bug in Paralives that you'd like to report to us, click the thumbs up icon from the top menu panel, and it will take you to our website where you can fill out a bug report form. Take a moment to fill out as many details as you can. The more info, the better. Thank you for helping us out, bug catchers.
Alright, so basically this little thumbs up and thumbs down button right here at the top of the screen will give you access to make a bug report. And you can also take pictures in the game with this little camera tool and it show the glitch if you like pause it at the right moment. And when you click on that button, it will basically take you to the Paralives website. But you can also go just to the Paralives website, go under contact, and you can go to bugs and suggestions, and it will take you to this page, which is the page that you can do reports of bug reports. So you can make a bug report, you can report crash, freeze, and lag, you can report location feedback, you can make a suggestion just in general, be nice though please, and then just a general comment, again please be nice. So they have that, and then you can give a description. You can also put a screenshot in here. Like I said, you could take the photo if it was like messing up, physically visible in frame, and then it sends back. It's just that easy, and you can do it as many times as you want. I wouldn't like spam the same thing over and over again. That would be a little counterintuitive, but you can at least, if you see a bug and you think it's something they haven't addressed yet, put it on here. It's kind of like the EA forums, but I don't think this time like you're able to see other people's and like up there or things and vote. I think it's just you report what you see. But I think it's cool that this early on, since they are doing it early access and they're saying, hey, there's gonna be bugs, they're going ahead and just giving us a way to report them. But they're also giving us ways to work around them, or at least make them more workable with. And that is by mods and cheats. Basically, we have the tools to go ahead and start creating mods, and mod creators have already started since day 1 2 days ago coming out with mods for the game. And you know from Sims mods, some of these mods that people come out with just make the game so much more functional and so much more better. Like there's a whole mod that just saves Dine Out in The Sims 4, which the Sims team hasn't even been able to do. When it comes to the mod information, I found this on the Paralives wiki, and it kind of just like goes into the different modding tools and how modding for Paralives works, and how you can do feature mods, access mods, and script mods. And they have a whole chart of the mod features. So if you are a mod creator, this is all really helpful information for you to have when creating mods for Paralives. And then if you aren't a mod creator, they still have cheats in game too. So today I want to go over the cheats that you can use in game, as well as the hotkeys you can use to function in the game. Now normally I would show off the hotkeys in the game, but I don't have access to the game. I figured it's something I could talk about without actually showing it off in the game. Let's start with the actual cheats in the game. So you can cheat your money, your skills, your age, and so much more. So first you gotta learn how to open the console and enter the cheat. So on Windows you do either Control-Shift-C like you do in Sims, or you can do Control F1. And then if you're on Mac, you can use Command plus FN/globe plus F1. So it says the console will appear at the top right corner of the screen. Collapse and click the circle to expand it to full width or full screen. Type the command and press enter. In case doesn't matter, so make it rain and make it rain work at the same time. So important. In Paralives, you don't need to enter testing cheat true or anything familiar first. The console is always ready. Just open it up and type, which is really handy. It says if you forget a command or want to see the full list in the game, type help, and the console will actually display a complete catalog of all the available cheats. That is so cool. Wait, I actually hadn't read that part yet. That's really cool. Okay. And then it says important warning, before using cheats, keep in mind the game just launched in early access and some cheats may be unstable. Always save before entering a serious command, especially those that distract change in the world or characters. Some cheats may require you to select a parafold first. Simply click on the character before typing the command. So there are all your warnings, how it works. Let's look at all the different cheats we have. So for money cheats, you have Penny Bank, which adds 1,000 Paradays. Currency is called Paradays. Make It Rain adds 10,000 Paradays. Jackpot adds 50,000 Paradays. Lottery adds a random amount between 1 and 100,000 Paradays. Actually, that's really fun. That's really fun. You could tell a story with that. Payday adds an amount equal to selected Parafolk salary. Print money, and then you have to put the amount as a specific amount of money. So if you want to put 5,000 simoleons, that one's probably going to be the one I use the most, honestly. And then it says set money an amount, and it says a household budget for a specific amount. And I don't know what the difference between print money and set money would be, but whatever. And then clear bills. So you can clear up all the unpaid bills. Oh, that's cool. You can cheat your bills away. I like that. Okay, and then time skip cheat. Oh, interesting. So no more waiting for an hour or a day. Advance an hour advances time by 1 hour. Advance a day advanced by 24 hours. Set hour sets a specific time of the day. Set hour for 7 a.m. Skip to 5 minutes before work. Skips exactly 5 minutes before the selected pair of votes work starts. That is so cool. Wait, I mean, I know like UI cheats in The Sims 4, you can just like select and say what time you want, but all of this, like, especially being able to skip to 5 minutes before work, that's so handy. Okay, and then build mode cheat. So we have toggle it town enables the full town edit mode. You can add and remove lots. Caution unstable mode, save before using. So basically you can, I guess, just remove lots. Can you upload lots to the Steam gallery thing? I know you can upload paras. Can you upload the lots though and download lots? I don't know, but they're saying if you want to like use cheats and just delete a whole lot at once, it may be unstable. But it says repair all broken items in the town is repair all items, and so apparently if your items are broken, you put that, and you can put unspoil all items, remove spoilage of food items. Actually, that's really handy. If you don't want like gross food sitting around your town, you can just enter that cheat and they'll all go poof. It's a cleaning tag. And then age, life, and death cheats. This is where it's at. Okay, next life stage moves the selected pair of folk to the next life stage. So you want to age them up, that's how you do it. Previous life stage moves the selected pair sub back down to the previous life stage. So I guess you don't want to do it in the Paramaker thing. You can do it with cheats. Kill character kills pair. Oh, okay. You can just straight up kill them with the cheat. We don't want this person. Kill them. Oh, wow. Okay. That's fantastic. Reveal all selected characters. Reveals all selected pair of folks. Set age. Sets a specific age for a pair of folk. Apparently, you can set like the age 25, and then printed shows the exact age of the selected pair of folks. And then character cheats, we have edit character opens Paramaker and edits the appearance and personality of any household member. So basically that's like full edit cheat mode. And then add selected characters to household, adds the selected NPC to the current household. So if you want to add someone in game just like real quick, that's what you would enter. So you don't shift click for that. You have to enter this cheat. And then create character with name creates a new character. For example, create character human adult. Oh, so you can just spawn a character in. Wait, that's really cool. Oh, I actually am really impressed by this cheat list for, launch day. Set skill level, skill, and then level sets a specific skill to a specific level. That's always a handy tip. Level up personality. So if you don't know, in Paralives, you don't exactly pick out personality traits. There's personality categories. You choose how well your para does in, and apparently you can increase them by 1 level with that. And then show character relationship shows the relationship list of the selected pair. I feel like that should be something you should access without a cheat, but whatever. Unstuck teleports a stuck pair to the proper position. So apparently instead of like shift clicking and resetting like you do in The Sims, you just put unstuck, and then unstuck all fixes the position of all pair folks in the world. And then need cheats and Paralives. Fill of all needs restores full all needs of the selected para folk. So if you want to specifically choose one para and make their needs perfect, you do that. And then relife fall needs, so all fall characters. So resource all the needs of every para folk in the game. So if you want to make everyone in the world happy, that's what you do. Set need, and then need and value sets a specific need to a certain value. Example, set need hunger 8. So if you want to can you kill him with hunger? I don't know the deaths in this game. Is it only fire? Wait. This sidetrack, ADHD sidetrack. Wait, how can you die in Paralives? I want to know. You can die through old age and the reviving hazards. So starvation, you can die from starvation and exhaustion. You can die from fire, smoke inhalation, and mushroom poisoning. Interesting. Okay, sorry, that was a total sidetrack, but I've been seeing stuff about dying, so I'm just like, how can you die? But yeah, okay, so if you want to like heal your sim or para from exhaustion or hunger, you can cheat their need down. If you want to save them, you can cheat their need up. Clears status effects, removes all status effects, so illnesses, emotion, and blah. So you're basically just resetting them and making them feel fine. And then chaos cheats for when you want a little disaster. Set select character on fire, so you can literally just spawn a sim on fire. That is so handy. You don't have to actually make a fire with your bad cooking skill. You can just be like, bitch, you on fire. Alright, extinguishing all fires extinguishes all fires in the game. And set it more on fire sets the selected item on fire. So they're just like wanting you to use fire to kill people, which I love. And then pregnancy and children cheats. Get pregnant makes the selected parafolk pregnant without need to try for a baby. Give birth if the parafolk is pregnant triggers immediate birth. Make babies. Select two selected parafolks have a baby together. And then pregnant status shows the pregnant status of the selected parafolk. So it's not as much as you might get if you have like UI cheats and Sims where you can like set the gender and like spawn them into labor. But I feel like they'll probably add more cheats as they add on to the pregnancy and children. But I'm actually very curious to play with the pregnancy and children. I am very much considering a baby challenge, but we'll see what happens. And then we have debug and utility cheats. So you can just type in help and it shows a full list of the available cheats directly in the game. That's so cool. If you don't want to look up the cheat, you can just search help and you have your list of cheats. You can do save and it saves the game directly from the console, which is pretty cool. Zip save file archives certain save files into saves into the desktop. Schedule dual FPS displays the frame rate on the screen. Quit to main menu, exit the game menu, and rage quit forces the game to quit. I feel like most of these are like if your game is frozen and you need to get to a certain screen, that's how you do it. And then you have Easter egg and fun cheats. So bear displays an ASC2 art of a bear. 8-ball gives a random magic 8-ball answer. So if you want to ask a question and just type in 8-ball, you get an 8-ball answer. Hotel outputs trivia. Yes, is a meme. And randomize all deformations. Completely randomizes parafolks appearing, ignoring slider limits. This may result to be very oh, wait, I want to try that one. Wait, that's actually really funny. You can just like make all the paras just be non-regular. Oh, that's fun. Okay. And then spin 50%, spins 50% of a chance wheel and tells you whether or not you won or lost. So I guess if you're like playing a game, be like, did I win? And you can do that. That's okay. I was not expecting this many cool cheats. And then we just have some useful tips. So commands are case insensitive. You can type them any way you like. So don't worry about like making them capital or not. Use help to see the full command list. We already covered that. Always save before cheats after heavy alter world. Some features in early access may be buggy. Some cheats only work on selected characters. Simply click on the parafolk before typing the command. Some cheats are actually developer debugging tools. For example, for texture memory testing. In normal game, you'll probably never need them, but if you really want to experiment, help will show you everything. And that's kind of everything I wanted to cover when it came to cheats. But also, like I said, I did want to cover some little hotkeys you could be doing. Now, this was on a website that had a bunch of ads on it, and I don't like showing off websites with a bunch of ads on it. So I did just copy and paste it into a Google file. So these are what action you get with what input. So obviously you can move the camera with the WSD keys, move camera alternate up, down, left, right. So, you know, your arrow keys. To pivot, you use Q and E. To zoom, you use your scroll wheel on your mouse. Zoom alternative, you can use the minus and equal key. And then to pause time, you press space. And then to do time 3 speed, you do the same thing as Sims. You do the 1, 2, 3. To undo, you do Control Z, redo Control Y. That's typical. Floor up is page up. So if you want to like go on multiple floors, you can do floor up and floor down with page up and page down. And then you can move the wall visibly, state forward with the home button. You can move the wall visibly, state backwards with the in button. And what I think is really cool is you can do a quick save. So you don't have to like go into a menu and press save. You can literally just press F5. Your game will save. That is a lifesaver that I hope I remember. And then toggle modes, you press tab. For the town map, you press M. For photo mode, you press P. So you want to take a photo, you have to press P, not C. That's going to get me. And then to build a wall, you can press B. To search wall build category, you can press Control F. For sledgehammer mode, you can press K. For pipette mode, you can press I. For lot mode, you can press L. For show catalog, you press O. For delete, you press delete. Wow, never would have guessed that. For the toggle grid, you press G, the same that in The Sims. Rotate items 45 degrees clockwise is a comma, and then to do it 45 degrees, counterclockwise is a comma, and then clockwise is a period. And then rotate an item 90 degrees is X. So you can rotate items like pretty much in any direction you want. So that's super helpful. So you just have to remember you use the period and the dot key. And then to select all parafolks in house, use Control U. I don't know why you would want to select all of them at once, but you can do it. And then to center a camera on a para that you have selected, you press F. So that is literally really all I wanted to go over today, you guys. I know I've been putting out a bunch of random videos with random different assortments of information, but it will all be on a playlist if you want to kind of scroll back over it. Like I said, I've been combining it with other games just because if news comes out on the same day about two games in the same gaming category, I don't see why not just put them together in one video. So I hope you guys haven't been finding this weird, but there also has been a lot of news videos going on my channel. I'm hoping that soon I can do some more gameplay videos before Paralives gets into my hands this weekend and I start posting for Pride Month. So I'm going to wrap this one up here, you guys. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you made it to this point, I hope you found it educational and entertaining because that was the entire purpose. So anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and do all that awesome stuff because you guys are awesome people. I'll see you next time. All right. Bye.